Both players had around 60 accuracy and a game rating of like 450. So you already know we're going to be in for a good time. Um, Now, we have a French defense and we have boom. The King's Gambit against the French defense. All right. Classic 1000 elo opening. D5. We have an exchange. King's Gambit French defense exchange variation. This is just standard 1000 elo theory. I mean, I don't even know why we have to go over this part. And now we have Queen to E2 check. At 1000 elo, you might not know this. Actually, it is mandatory to, if you have a check, you must play it. All right, that's just how 1000 elo is. It's just the unwritten rule. Don't question it. Bishop to E7 blocking, and now pawn to D4. And honestly, the best move for white was to actually move the queen back. That's so funny. That's so funny. Pawn to C5. Um, White can defend this in a myriad of ways, but white decides to take, thinking it's a free pawn because the bishop is pinned, but it's not a free pawn because obviously, number one, you could just go queen a5 check and win the pawn back, but but now white's king is super open from both of these diagonals. Oops, and this file right here, right? White's king is now super open, and black now needs to just like go pedal to the metal. Don't even worry about getting this pawn back, even though you can. And I can't even like click the right squares as per the usual. Don't even worry about getting that pawn back, just castle. So that's what black does. And now queen to f2, moving out of the way of this potential pin situation here. Um, Knight to c6, bishop d3 developing, and now white's bishop pair is almost fully operational, all right? Even though this bishop didn't even get developed. All white has to do is play f5, and the bishop, well, actually f5 blocks this bishop. But find some way to get this pawn out of the way, and then white's gold. Rook to e8, again, 1000 elo. It's just an unwritten rule. You know, you gotta line the enemy pieces up with the king. Gotta go for checks. Gotta go for discoveries. White castles. And now it's -2, even though white's up a pawn, because black just has so much activity. And also, like, this setup could be dangerous if bishop could capture here and be protected, and then this bishop, like, for some reason isn't able to block. That wins the queen. So a lot of poison here in this position. And we have bishop to g4 and all of the advantages gone. The way to go was knight to g4. It comes with tempo on the queen. It does attack this pawn too, but you can't get to it right away. But also, like, once the queen moves, this pawn comes back, and that's actually a check. So um, almost. But now we have queen to h4, blundering this pawn with check. And then black does not take it. All right, black is like, I'm just gonna resist taking this pawn and just start monkeying the queen for no reason. Pawn to f5. All right, you know, we got to get the bishop pair fully operational. And you know what? This move is not great, but I do hope he sacks the bishop over here on h6. That would be absolutely amazing. Uh, Queen to d7, and now bishop captures an h6. I called it. I'm actually so happy. Take, and now boom. Now white's got what they want. They got an attack, and now you already know knight to g5 is coming, and black is at +2 because Stockfish can defend this position. But this is 1000 elo. This is not Stockfish. You know, white's position here, not great. You got to get. It's going to take a while to get these pieces in the attack. So that's the one issue, and especially if this trade happens, it actually does help white a little bit because now the rook can go over here, and that could spell potential disaster. But once the knight comes in, the rook comes in, like, it's gonna get real spicy. Anyway, black decides to play bishop captures on f5, and the computer liked knight to e4 and says this is basically the only way to defend this attack because it goes from 2.3 to 0.4. Knight to e4, you control this square from this knight, and even though like that knight can go there, you can just trade it off. You also control this square, so like it's going to be harder to lift the rook. So, and also it's an outpost. It's pretty well. It's protected by this. Anyway, bishop takes f5. Black is now up a pawn, but it runs into a huge blunder with queen to g5 check, and now black can pick up the bishop again, or at least pick up a pawn. Because I think the only way you can save this is bishop blocks like this, and then pawn up, and then after the bishop takes it, or sorry, I said that wrong. Bishop goes here, and then after the bishop takes it, then the pawn goes up to take that. Yeah, that's what I just said it in the wrong thing. I just saw too many moves ahead. And now king to f8, blundering the game. The only way to continue for black was to just go here and just either play on or take the draw. But king to f8, trying to escape, blunders the game because I think knight g4 or knight g5 is really hard to defend because it's you have to defend this square, so you have to maybe move the you can move the bishop here with check, but after that, like what then this knight falls. So after the bishop takes that pawn with check, like that knight, king moves and the knight is gonna fall. It's gonna be really hard for black to defend this. And no, knight g5 was not played. Of course, if there's a check in this move, you have to play it, but that would just cause repetition. So white is not obligated to play that. That's the part of the 1,000 rules. But you just have to look for this checkmate here. Knight to g5 is so free right here, man. Like, what are you afraid of? This, like, honestly, this is so devastating. So devastating for black. You have to play it. And this gives black a chance. And that chance is bishop captures on c5 check, king to h1, and now black blunders the game away. Black needed to have gone there and trade the pieces and end the attack. But with pawn to d4 attacking this knight, that allows white to take it with this knight. Actually, that's a huge blunder. But again, knight to g5 was the best move. I didn't really calculate, but yeah, knight to g5 is still deadly. And that knight is so pinned, and it's going to fall. And there's not a whole lot. I think, because the bishop takes it and defends this knight. Yes, that's it. And bishop takes it, defends the knight, and now black's back in the game. Black's winning, in fact. All right, let's throw in a check. Queen blocks. Okay. This is not a good move because the bishop can take it. And the bishop does not take it! And black blunders the game again! Look at the eval bar. It's just getting a workout, man. Look at the shape of the eval bar as it travels through the game. I mean, this is like a Tour de France, like, grueling level, like, mountain over here, man. Like, I mean, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, the reason bishop takes here is so good is because it defends that knight. It defends the knight. Take the rook! But king to g8. Black is going to win without taking the rook, alright? You know, I take back what I said. I take back everything that I said, alright? I take back everything. I think white was like, I'm going to sacrifice the rook. And black was like, oh, no, you're not. No one sacrifices the rook on me. Much respect to black. I made a mistake with my analysis. My bad. And then we have a queen trade. Blundering the game. I mean, rook here wins the queen. It wins the queen. Black has no defense. No defense against that. None. Zilcho. Okay, but anyway, we have a queen trade. And now white says, you didn't take my rook before. Well, now I'm going to sacrifice the rook again. Again. White sacrifices the rook for this knight. Okay, and now white's going to bring the other rook. Bishop trades, and now this is just straight up winning for black. I mean, there's like no chance, right? There's no chance. All right, avoid the trade. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, like, okay, white gets a pawn. Okay, defend. Now you're not gonna stop. Okay, that's a rook blunder, and that's the game. All right. So, boy, I mean, that was a crazy game. That was a crazy game, and oh my gosh, a lot of twists and turns in that one, and I hope you enjoyed it.